Hello, Colts Nation. Welcome back to another episode of the No Horsing Around podcast. As always, I am one of two dudes talking Colts tonight. I'm your host, Stephen Burton. And tonight's just me on the preview show. Zach produced a ton of content for you guys, a ton over the last couple of days. He's taken some much needed time off. He told me to kind of, hey, we don't hesitate. We roll this thing. We want to make sure we get it out to you guys. It's the preview show. Colts, Titans, round 2. So let's just kind of, before we dive in, please like, share, subscribe, comment. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know if you guys got any issues, questions, concerns. It doesn't really matter. We want to hear from you guys. If you've not subscribed yet, as Zach always says, please join the family. Come on over and subscribe. So let's not hesitate, you guys. Let's kind of go right into this. Colts, Titans, ding, ding, round 2. So first meeting of the season, the Colts were a little bit more hampered. Carson was banged up, coming off of his dual sprained ankleisms. I don't know. And he played. I was at that game. He was about 50%, if we're lucky. Colts have won 3 of the last 4. They are 3-4. Titans are 5-2, coming off of 2 massive wins against the Chiefs as well as the Buffalo Bills. What do we think, you guys? I mean, this is a massive game. We've talked to you guys over the last week. We've put some stuff out about this game. We know that a lot of people feel this is a must-win game for the Colts, a make or break, that if you go 3-5, that you're not necessarily going to be able to come out of that and potentially make a playoff. 4-4, everything's on the table at that point. You also have 2 very winnable games up next. You have the Jets and the Jaguars. So what are we thinking? What are we thinking about this game? So let's kind of roll with this like we always do. We always cover a ton of different topics. This is going to be a shorter preview episode. I want to give it to you guys. I want to hit them. It's just me. I want to kind of give you the information, give you my thoughts, give you my predictions, and then just kind of roll out, man. Let it be, let it settle, let it simmer. So let's kind of go first. Players to watch, you guys. So who are the players on the Colts offense? Like we always do. Colts offense, Colts defense, Titans offense, Titans defense. Colts offense, I think Carson is always there. Pittman Jr. is going to be really crucial as well. And Jonathan Taylor. Those are your triplets. They need to play well. Carson's going to be looking to play better to show that what he's been doing lately is not a fluke, that we're looking at a potential 2019 Carson. I'm not sure about 2017, but 2019, we've gotten a lot of comments from Eagles fans to go back and look at that, where he kind of put him on his back and single-handedly carried them to the playoffs. So I'm okay with that. He's looked great. His passer rating has been great. I was on Outdated NFL the other night, and I said that I felt like we've cured our future quarterback problem at this point. 5, 7, 10 years, somewhere around there. Carson's the guy, barring catastrophic injury, knock on wood, right? But he's going to look to show that it's not a fluke. I do think in the end he's a better quarterback than Ryan Tannehill. I think he can carry the team if asked to, but they're not going to ask him to. He's also developed this amazing relationship, I believe, with Michael Pittman Jr., where he's able, you see the old gif of Patrick Mahomes, throw it up, Tyreek's out there somewhere. I feel like that's getting to where Carson is with Michael Pittman Jr. Throw it up, MPJ's there somewhere. He'll go get it. And he's got a tremendous amount of trust in him at this point. And so does the coaching staff. The coaching staff has amazing trust in Michael Pittman Jr. I mean, look no further than the Niners game last week, where on a crucial 3rd down to try to seal the game, they threw the ball up to him. Not only did he high point it, get it, he knew, hey, I don't need to go down. I need to get into the end zone. I need to get 6. And he did. So I think you're going to look to exploit what I will talk about here in just a little bit, which is I believe a weak Titans secondary. As y'all know, I live in Tennessee. I hear this stuff every day. I know what, for the most part of any team we play, I feel like I know what's going on with the Titans the most. And I'm going to catch a ton of slack, I think, from my Titans buddies who are going to watch this, but I don't care. I'm not a homer. I'm going to tell it like it is, but at the same time, I don't think it's that uneven. So Michael Pittman Jr. is another player to watch for us. Finally, Jonathan Taylor. What can you say, man? What can you say? The O line is gelling better. They seem to be coming together. Braden Smith has the potential to finally play again. We may have found a person in Chris Reed. We've got Quentin Nelson back. Eric Fisher seems to be getting a slightly better, and Jonathan Taylor is kind of rolling into what he does. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play going into this game and if they continue to gel. But with Jonathan Taylor, I feel like he's going to have the ability to bust one or two big runs in this game. He's the second leading rusher in the NFL. Now, granted, I do crack the joke. That is second leading rusher to Derrick Henry by over 250 yards. Derrick Henry has over 800 yards rushing, and it's just insane. But I think those are three key players. A hidden little key player, just one just for you guys to kind of float out and put in your mind and think about is Mo Alley Cox. I think he has the potential to really, really break out the remainder of this season. Carson seems to really like him. They have a connection, they have a groove, and he's a massive human being. And Carson likes to throw to big dudes who can catch the ball and rumble. Y'all have heard me say it once, twice, three times. The dude's got clown hands, massive hands when he's holding the football. I love Big Mo. I think he could have a very big game too because he's a mismatch nightmare. As far as the Titans defense, you guys have heard me say, I look at two players, honestly, on their defense that worry me the most. One is Jeffrey Simmons because he's a gigantic human being and a space eater in the middle, and he can collapse the pocket on Carson. He can draw double teams and allow their pass rushers to get to Carson, and he can hog up the holes and not let JT actually run. He is the single most important player, I believe, on their defense. Secondly, is Kevin Byard. A lot of people forget about him. Not long ago, he was the highest paid safety in the league. He plays like it. He's starting to be more of a turnover guy, a la Darius Leonard, not nearly on the same level, but the ability to punch the ball out, be timely where he's at. But overall, those tend to be the two that do worry me the most when I'm watching them. A hidden one on their defense to pay attention to is getting a ton of pub right now is Harold Landry. He's a pass rusher. He's really come into his own this season. The Titans fans and the Titans media are very high on him right now. And that is a player that could wreak havoc. He could. Between Jeffrey Simmons loosening up the O line and allowing him to get to Carson or blow up plays in the backfield, it's a big thing. As far as their weaknesses in their defense, as I'm looking at, is their secondary. You can tell me what you want. Fulton's hurt. Caleb Farley's hurt. I don't view that they have a court. Jackrabbit's Jackrabbit. Come on. Don't bring that nonsense to me. I feel like it's a weak secondary outside of Byard on the back end. And you're going to get these mismatch nightmares. Rumor has it that Jayon Brown is not going to play. He is the only linebacker, not pass rush specialist like Harold Landry, that worries me. He has big games against the Colts every time they play, and he may not play. Rashad Evans, I feel like he's been a bust for the Titans. They didn't sign him to his fifth-year extension. He's going to be somewhere else. That's going to anger my buddy Adam. We'll probably talk about that on his podcast, Tighten Up Time, this week, that I've said that. But that's how I look at how that is. On our offense, obviously the worry continues to be the O-line. How that's going to – are they going to gel? They continue to improve. If you're looking at their offense, It begins and ends with Derrick Henry, you guys. It really does. I had a conversation today about it and saying if you took Derrick Henry off this team, how do they finish? And a lot of my buddies, my brother who's a Titans fan, Adam Raymer, the host of Tighten Up Time, he's a Titans fan, felt like they could float above water because of how they feel Tannehill does. I think Tannehill is a good quarterback. He fits that team perfectly. But if you take Derrick Henry off the team, they're a below 500 team. I'm sorry. I had this conversation with him today. They're not a 500 team without Derrick Henry if you just put solely on Ryan Tannehill's shoulders. Now, if you took Ryan Tannehill out and you just had Derrick Henry, I think they're a 500 team. That's how good he is. I'm sorry. I know you have Julio Jones. I know you have AJ Brown. I know you have these guys. Um, and they get theirs everything because of Derrick Henry. You stop Derrick Henry two ways, three ways. Hit him in the backfield, hit him low, or get up big and make him a non-factor in the game. That's what we did last year in the game with the blocked punts. In Tennessee last year, we got up big. He was a non-factor. On the flip side, too, though, sometimes they can get going. Tannehill can really feel it, and he did that last week against the Chiefs. Henry didn't have 100 yards. But I think it begins and ends, like always, with stopping Derrick Henry. Make him a non-factor. And that's going to come on our end when you look at our defense. That's going to come from DeForest Buckner. That's going to come from Al-Qadim Muhammad, Kwity Paye, Ben Banogu, Grover Stewart. They're going to have to clog it up. They're really going to have to step up in this game. They're going to have to be Colts defense a la 2020 when we just stopped everyone who wanted to run. And then you're going to have to trust your corners. You're going to have to trust a Kenny Moore. You're going to have to trust Isaiah Rodgers. You're going to have to trust Kari and see what can happen with those matchups and hope. I don't know if Julio's playing at this point in time. I know AJ is scheduled to play. AJ Brown is. They don't have a tight end that worries me. They lost Jonnu Smith. Rumor is they're looking into the tight end market for trades. So I'm not overly concerned with that. But you also have to get to Tannehill, and you got to contain him because he does have legs. He's very similar to Carson. So it's going to be really crucial. Darius Leonard's going to spy him again. He's going to do what he does. I would expect a turnover. I would expect at this point a forced fumble or an interception because it's just kind of what he does. So, I mean, that's some keys. That's some players on both sides of the ball to pay attention to in this game. So what are some keys to a Colts victory in this game, you guys? Stop Derrick Henry is number one. It just is. I'm sorry. You can like him. You can hate him. Zach, my co-host, my man, did not have him in the top 5 running backs in the preseason. I don't know. We disagreed at that time, but it begins, ends stopping Derrick Henry. You have to do that. You have to make him a non-factor. And if you can't fully stop him, you have to contain him. Avoid allowing that big hitter, that 75-yard rush, that 55-yard rush, that 82-yard rush, that big game-breaking one. You have to avoid that. That's key number 1. Key number 2, don't turn the ball over. Continue to be smart with what you do. Continue to be methodical. Key number 3, feed JT. Feed him the ball, man. And get it to him creatively like you've been doing. Halfback screens, bubbles, end arounds. Get him on the outside with pitches like we used to do with Edgerrin James way back in the day. Work on those things. Get him into space because when he's in space, you saw it at the Niners game. He almost pulled away on that one. It just happened to get him around the ankles. So I think those are really key. And then the final key for me is Carson just has to continue to play the way he's playing. I don't think you have to have any of these big factors. I don't think you need 4 turnovers. The Titans are not that much better a team than the Colts, in my opinion. And it's my humble opinion. I respect a lot of the Titans fans. I respect the Titans. They are a very good team. But this always comes down to just a couple of things. The games are always close. Always close. They play each other twice a year. The Colts do obviously very much outweigh in the overall series. I think it's like 31-18, somewhere around there, something ridiculous. Um, and you talk to Titans fans, and a lot of that's chalked up to, well, you had Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck never lost to the Titans. I'm sorry. There's not asterisks next to that. It is still what it is. Um, but they always play tough. They always are just knock down, drag out games, and they always decide the division. If the Colts lose this game, you can call off the division. I mean, you still have 2 games against the Jags. You still have 1 against the Texans. Those don't help if you've been swept by the Titans. So, I mean, going back to Carson just has to play the way he's been playing. Play within the system, play smart, play methodical, make the plays when they're available, take the runs when they're available, take what the defense gives you, be a smart quarterback. Okay? And I want to clarify, taking what the defense gives you is not a knock, contrary to what a lot of the Ravens fans felt from a few weeks ago when I said Lamar took what our defense gave him. It's a smart quarterback play. So at this point, we've kind of come to where it's prediction time, you guys. Prediction time. I love that little video. So I think it's going to be a close game. I said it today. I've talked to Zach about this too. I think it's a 3-point game. I think it's close. I personally think it's going to be 27-24 Colts. I just do. I think, and I'm not trying to be a homer. I've not picked against the Colts. I felt it sometimes. But at the same time, they always split. You look back over the season, overall season records, 9 times out of 10, unless the Colts were on a run, they split these games. If one wins, and a lot of times they split them kind of this way, home and home. They've also split them where the Colts have won in Tennessee and Tennessee's won in Indy. I just think the Colts are going to come out with a ton of fire. They're going to come out ready to play. They're going to come out knowing this is a crucial game. And let's be honest, too. As good as the Titans are, they are known to pee down their leg every once in a while. New York Jets. So I do think it's going to be a good game. But I'm going to predict the Colts 27-24. So kind of here at the end of this, I want to give kind of a shout out to a couple of different people, mainly you guys. Like we always say, please like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know your predictions for the games, you guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about who's the key player. We had a great time with game balls last time. Tell me who the key players are. Tell me what the keys to a Colts victory are. Drop them in the chat. Drop them into the comments. I love reading them. We always respond, myself or Zach. Somebody's always going to respond to you guys with it. And lastly, make sure, please, you guys, hit the subscribe. Join the family. Join the No Horsing Around family. Get involved. We're humbled every time we gain a subscriber. We love it. We're just trying to build. We're just 2 fans who have gotten lucky enough to kind of get to talk about the Colts sometimes on the daily with you guys, and you guys are interested in hearing what we have to say. Through you guys, we've been able to go on other shows, Bring the Juice, NFL Outdated. We've got a couple other ones that Zach has been on, that I've been on, that we've been requested to be on as kind of the voice of the Colts, which is mind-blowing. So, I mean, please, if you guys haven't, subscribe. If you have, tell a friend. If your friend subscribed, tell that friend to tell a friend. I say it all the time. Friends don't let friends not subscribe to No Horsing Around podcast. I got nothing else, you guys. Huge game. Colts Nation needs to show up. Zach will be at the game. We're excited. He always sends me pictures from the game. I'm always excited about it. It's massive, you guys. So we end this the way we always do. I love you. I know Zach loves you. Let's go get a W on Sunday. I'm out.